Welcome everyone to another episode of the Candy Show. I'm your host, Candy. We have another special guest in the building, and we may be soon joined by someone. However, we would like to welcome my special guest, filmmaker, producer, director of the new. Everybody, you guys, make sure you stay tuned. But of the new upcoming comedy film can't get right. Guys, I want you to welcome my special guest, Mr. Marcus Head.
Hey, what up, everybody? I'm on the Candy Show. I can't wait to tell my mom and
Okay.
daddy I have made it. I have made it.
Oh
Woo,
my
hitting the
goodness.
lottery.
Oh my
What's up, girl?
goodness. What's going on, Marcus?
Hey,
Where are
I'm
you
just happy
coming
to be
from
here. Thank
today?
you so much. I'm in Fort Pierce, Florida, which is about an hour and a half from Orlando, about an hour from Miami, and sitting on water right across the street. My neighbors are the dolphins and the catfish and snook and all that stuff. So, hey, just living good.
Okay, why are you rubbing it? I'm in here, Indianapolis, Indiana. It's about to
Uh,
snow.
hey, I'm from Chicago, so I know that's why I got the heck out of here.
Oh man. I mean, right now I have two socks. Actually, a pair of socks and two pairs of footies on.
Hey, I remember them days, girl, turning that cold car on, getting in the car, and it's cold, you shivering and everything else. Like, why am I still here? So I remember them days.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for a remote starter because woof, ooh, some days I was plugging in that lighter and defrosting windows. Woof.
I remember.
Oh
I
gosh.
remember.
Alrighty, and guys, just thank you so much for tuning in. If for whatever reason that you have not subscribed to the YouTube, make sure you do subscribe to YouTube page, capital C Candy Productions, and the number two. Hit the notification button so you can make sure you can be in the know of what's going to go on in the next upcoming year. What is it? However, I don't know. You don't know. So that's why you got to hit the notification button. Guys, let's go ahead and get into it today. Mr. Marcus Head. All right. You're from Chicago, you're in Florida, but yet, how did you get started? How did you get from Chicago to Florida? And where did we come about with Can't Get Right?
No, girl, please. We ain't got enough time in the day for the show, but I'm gonna give you the quick details. So basically, I moved from Chicago to Atlanta. A friend of mine, he wanted to open up a pawn shop, so I moved there to help him. We never got the pawn shop open, but I love the Atlanta area. So my brother came down there with me. We was like the only two people with book bags at the AU Center, Clark, Atlanta, and Spelman, that didn't have no class or nothing like that, but we was walking around like we was in class every day. We would get up and literally walk around because we ain't never seen that black experience at a all black college, with the connections. Anybody that's been down there know what I'm talking about. And this was in 1991 when it was popping before they started putting up barricades and all that stuff. And I started stand up comedy and at Uptown Comedy Club. Shout out to Uptown Comedy Club in Atlanta, in Buckhead, the old one. And I just really, first time I went up, Bruce was the host, and Ricky Harris, rest in peace, was on the show. And I was just there hanging out, and I loved it. And I came up to Bruce and said I really wanted to do it. He told me to come back next week. Got on stage. I did Fire Marshal Bill. It was hilarious for the first 5 minutes, and then they booed my ass off that stage. I thought my name was Boo. Give it up for Boo. I was like, it was horrible, but I loved that experience and that energy. And then I got back up there probably about 6 months later. And it was funny because Kevin Hart was there, and Kevin Hart came up to me and said, you know, keep your head up. You did a good job. You definitely got the energy and you got the look. And Kevin Hart at this time was not in the movies then. He was just doing some things and he was making his bones. And I'll never forget that. And that stuck and resonated with me. And I never forget that. And I just went up, did my thing, and eventually started moving up and got funny. And I had to go to the other side, the punchlines and the improvs and all that stuff to do it. But then I crossed over and actually I'm glad I did it because I was doing black audience, Mexican art. I mean, just all type of different uh, what do you call it, diversity. And I end up getting my big break when I got on tour with Ron White. If anybody is familiar with him, he was the guy from the Blue Collar Tour, and he used to go by, my name is Tater Salad. And Ron White, real funny guy. And I went on tour with him for about a couple of months, and then I hooked up and just really started doing my thing. And I started doing a lot of work with a lot of comedians. Tyler Craig, rest in peace, just passed, and good friends of mine, Shotty, Double D, and Squirt, and we just started really doing our thing. Stacy Hall, shout out to Stacy Hall. He's on BMF series. Anybody seen the series? Remember when the little girl ran away with that boy and that boy got stabbed?
I
Remember
sure
that
do.
part?
I
Well, he
sure
was the
do.
guy that was supposed to be watching her,
Oh,
following her. So that's my boy Stacy. And so, make a long story short, I really just got into the comedy, and then I had a kid, and a good friend of mine, Finesse Mitchell, he was on Saturday Night Live, and he's also got a couple of shows. Asked me, if I wanted to go to New York with him and do the roommate thing, because none of us had money at the time. And I said, nah, man, I just had a kid. So I ended up going, staying in Atlanta, and he ended up going, getting on Saturday Night Live, and I'm happy for him and everything else. And then I got out of the comedy for a minute, and then I just started writing for comedians. And then finally, one day, my wife and I was sitting down on the couch trying to find something on TV, couldn't find anything. And she's like, "You always talking about writing something, and you always want to see something. You always criticizing everybody's movie. Why don't you write something?" So then I sat down and thought about it, and then I started with Can't Get Right. And well, I mean, I did other things before, shorts and everything else, but Can't Get Right is my first production under my company that I have my name and my prints over it, and it's doing very well. We just finished the movie a couple months ago. It'll be actually ready to go in 2 weeks.
oh,
Where I'm gonna actually get ready to sit down and watch it myself. Then I'm gonna go ahead and we have a couple of opportunities with distribution places to try to get it out there. And real quick, anybody out there that is trying to make a film, and once you get everything done, the hardest part is raising the money. Then shooting the production, that's the fun part. But then when you go in post production, it is a mother, you know what? And then when you do it, the last part is finding someone that's gonna distribute your film. My advice to anybody here, because I'm always trying to, anything I learn, I want to give back. If you have a film, make sure you have good audio. Make sure you shoot it on something cinematic. Don't try to go get the big budget camera just because Netflix say they want to approve camera, because chances are you ain't gonna ever be on Netflix. Get you a good camera, pay your crew, get good lighting, good audio, and then once you get all that together, don't sell yourself short. Don't just give it away to anybody. Make sure you keep your rights and try to do that first. Sell your film, get it on something, but don't ever give up your rights. And I own 100%. Um, Now, Can't Get Right. Let me tell you about that.
okay. Well,
I'll talk all day,
what,
girl. So,
I know that. So let's go back. You mentioned you had to get funny. How do you get funny? How do you learn to be funny
you know
as a
what? We
comedian?
all funny. It's not about a comedic. Like I used to always tell people when I first get on stage, I say, I'm not a comedian. I'm just a man with hilarious problems. We all got some humor in our life, from a drunk uncle, or a crazy cousin, or just dumb stuff we've done that we embarrassed to talk about, or people already know what we do. So there's always a story to tell. The difference between being funny by that water cooler at work, or being funny at all your friends and being funny in an actual stand-up comedian, is you have to have good timing, good preparation. And I'm gonna give you a story like Bill Bellamy. Bill Bellamy and Kevin Hart and them, they polished and everything else. But back in the day, they was bugging the mess out of everybody behind the scenes, like going over their joke before they went up on stage. So, a lot of comedians, when they first start out, they are at home rehearsing, writing, and practicing it over and over and over just to get the timing and everything else right. Just like any other thing, you want to be prepared. So I can tell you right now, no comedian has ever went on stage and say, "All right, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna follow my script and then do it." But they at least have something like a base of what they're gonna talk about. And it all depends on the crowd. And I mean, I did a show with a bunch of people in wheelchairs, so the stuff that I usually do, I ain't gonna be able to get up there and talk about. Hey, so you're not gonna be able to talk. So talking about, I'm. I appreciate y'all rolling up in here and everything else. See, stuff like that is funny, but it's like, they can identify, but they can laugh at it. So you let comedy that's about you laughing at yourself or people laughing at themselves or you laughing at the experience. That's the whole thing about comedy. And I didn't mean to do no workshop on no comedy right now. I know we want to talk about the film, but like I said, I'm about teaching first. I almost became a fifth grade teacher, so that's just in me. So getting off topic, but getting back on topic, just be yourself. Don't try to get up there and do like everybody else, like I did. I got up there and do it Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy jokes for the first couple of times I did it, and then somebody pulls me to the stage and said, "Look, just be yourself." And when I did that, that's when I started getting funny because nobody can tell your story like you. So,
That's
Candy. So
fine.
you come up on there, so the way you look, you smile, and I know you got some crazy brothers and sisters. Talk about that. Talk about how you grew up. You and I was talking about how cold it was earlier in Chicago and in Indiana. So you can come out and say, "Yeah, girl, I'm from Indiana. Y'all, anybody that's not from Indiana, I'm gonna tell you what, it's cold there. You don't want to go." And that's just a reaction, and you setting it up. And now you go ahead and talk about your story. So it's set up, set up, set up, and then hit them with the joke.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that because as a patron of comedy shows, it's always in the back of my mind. How do comedians go each day, 5 shows in a row, and they tell the same jokes? It's like how do you because when you hear the same jokes, it's like how do you laugh? Like how do you not think?
Well,
You hear the
it's
same.
the energy.
Okay.
Well, first of all, when you on stage and you already got a joke that you know you've done before and you know it's funny, I mean, why not? Why not bring your best thing to work? So if you know it's something funny, it don't matter if they heard it 50 times. If they keep laughing, why stop? You
Mhm.
know, and then you can go ahead and, as long as you got that energy on stage and they full of liquor, stuff always gonna be funny. So, you know what I mean? So it's all about energy, delivery, and just being personable. They gonna laugh if you funny. I mean, they're not gonna laugh if you're funny. They're gonna laugh if you're real, genuine, and they can tell that you having fun. And if you scared, they gonna boo your ass off that stage, or they gonna, start making noise, talking, and they're not gonna pay attention. But if you command that audience, and like you get up on stage, hey, my name is Marcus Head. How's everybody doing today? You got to speak a little bit, speak over all the goofy people and everything else, but be real about what you're doing. Don't take all day introducing yourself. Talk about something, topics that's going on,
Well,
just like I say.
let's go back because the reason why I felt like that was important because that's your foundation and that's how you merged into making your movie Can't Get Right because it's a comedy movie, correct?
Yes, it's a comedy. It's about a young man named Tyler, played by Shotty Shotty. What my name is? Shout out to Shotty Shotty. And he's that guy that is always just screwing up, doing the wrong thing, can't get right, and everybody know it. He's just that guy, always getting fired, always doing dumb stuff. He lives with his Grandma Dirty, and Grandma Dirty is that old school. We call her GD. All she do is smoke weed all day, and she that religious person that think the only way to get in church is speaking in tongues and paying your tithes. You know, she goes to the Shady Church by Pastor Wright, who's played by Aaron. What's his name? Aaron. He's played Pastor Wright, and his name is Aaron Young, but they call him Weight Ball, comedian Weight Ball. He does a phenomenal job. So he's that shady pastor. All he care about is money, and he got connections with the mob, and he smoked weed all day and stuff like that. So, but the moral of the story is Tyler's a barber by trade, but he wants to do something different. And his cousin Squirt, who's played by my homeboy comedian Squirt, has a barber shop, and he goes and tries to do something else, and he just gets fired. And we got a montage scenes of him just getting fired for multiple things, just in hilarious ways. So eventually he comes back, and anybody that went and got a barbershop cut on a Saturday, anybody that's been in church, we got the scene where the old lady throwing the shoe at the kid that keep talking back in church. You know, we got, I mean, just so many different things, and we got the choir just off the chain, jumping around and everything else like that. And basically, Tyler finds a bag of money, and the bag of money belongs to the mob. And because of his carelessness and everything else, now he's got himself in trouble. Now he's a good dude, he does good things, and he's always looking out for his people. But now that he owes the mob money, the mob don't want the money back when they find out it's him. but they want to go ahead and say, all right, now that you owe us, we're gonna go ahead and come into this barbershop of your cousins, and we're gonna go ahead and start selling our drugs and doing our illegal things. So basically, he's over his head. But not only is he putting himself in a predicament, but he's putting his family, and there's other twists and turns that he's gonna do as well. And I mean, we just got old school scenes like, he getting the bath water for Grandma Dirty, and he putting, the Joy, the detergent liquid into the tub. Just it's that old John Singleton, Love Jones movie type, stuff. Just stuff you haven't seen in a long time. So I'm not gonna give up the end, but just imagine somebody with money, careless, and now he owe people and he trying to get out of it. And we got the old school two guys sitting in the back of the barber shop, and all they do is just do mama jokes and just talk about each other all day. Like the Do the Right Thing with Sweet Dick Willie and I don't know. Can I say Sweet Dick Willie on here? I'm sorry. Okay. All right. I ain't sure. You don't know who
Hey, this
watching,
is
girl.
this is
Jesus may
it.
be watching.
It's the
So
internet.
okay.
The internet.
All right, so all they doing all day is just talking about, your mama jokes, your mama this, your mama so fat, your mama so black, and everything else like that. But don't get me wrong, this is not a black film. This is an urban film that has a variety of characters. We got short people in it. We got the gay LGBTV,
Did you
Jesse
say TV?
Lewis. You know what I'm saying? The LB, I get that wrong all the time. Just the what do they like to be called? The queer community. They like to be called queer. I found that out. The queer, we got the queer community in there. We got just like I say, just the diversity, and it's just hilarious. It's funny, but it has a message to it. It's not just a black film that, and you hear me say that a lot because I don't want to be labeled as a black director that makes black films because we have a lot going on besides just comedy. I do more than just comedy. But if you ask me what am I between telling the jokes, directing, producing, I'm a writer first. I love to tell stories and I love to write stories. And also in the movie we got Rodney Perry, and everybody know who Rodney Perry is. Rodney Perry was Cuz in Coming to America too, and he was in Tyler Perry's movie. What was that? The Family That Prays. When the girl was always getting on him about taking care of his kid and standing up for himself. So shout out to Rodney Perry. Montel Jordan is a producer on the film, and we have a couple of songs in there from him. My man H. Drucci is a rapper. He's in the thing he called Black Rob. If you've seen the trailer, he's a guy that said, "Man, smoke's supposed to be coming out of the kitchen." But he's an incredible rapper. I didn't know he was that good, but he's got two songs out, Yummy Top, and he also has another song. I forgot the name of the song, but he has a song with Rick Ross that's going to be in the movie. It's called Run It Up. And Rick Ross, he only in there for a quick minute, but you know it's him and you hear his verse when he on there. So hey, Rick Ross is in there. So you know what I mean? Hey, Rick Ross is in there. It don't matter if he said, huh, and then
Oh,
I got Rick Ross. So,
come on.
but I
That's
got more than him. I got him singing. But Montel Jordan has three songs in there. And shout out to Montel and his wife Kristen. For definitely having my back and really, I mean, they've really been very a blessing for me for this. And I got to mention my team, my production team, Eli McGowan, the DP, Shaky Webster, my uh, AD, um, Kenny, my everything production manager. I call him Soft Stick because he was always the guy that was doing the chart
yes.
thing. I forgot that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? Yeah, the
Take two.
slate. And we just had a whole bunch of different people. Taylor Page, Gaffer, Ron, my Gaffer, and he did a job. His wife Selena, and just oh man, we had so many people in here that I got my son in there, and I'm happy about that. My 9-year-old son is in there. There's a scene. Dre the actor, he's in there, and it's funny. Herman, the Hustle Man. They call him Hustle Man. Herman was in there, and I mean it's just like I said, it's just hilarious. Shamish Renee, Butterby Rocker. Shout out to Butterby Rocker, very talented singer. She has a film out. Got to plug her. It's called oh, what is it called? Something about the perfect man. Yeah, finding the perfect guy. So definitely look her up. And like I said, it's not about me. It's about me trying to get everybody that's behind this production and all the actors and everybody that just I just want to get everybody out there for
Okay.
all their hard work. I even have people, my old locker room buddy in high school. You know, in high school, you get the same locker room buddy all 4 years. That's right next to you, right? Teresina Harvey. She, helped out, produced, and gave me some money for the film. So shout out to Teresina. And I raised money on Facebook. I raised money family. Got to give a shout out to my family, and of course my wife. I wouldn't be able to do it without her. And I raised money in a pandemic. I raised money when money is tight for everybody. And we did it in two phases. First, we shot the first phase in March, and we did like 7 to 10 days. And somebody who was supposed to be um, one of the producers at the last second dropped out. So I was waiting on them to finish funding the film. So we shooting a movie, and they keep telling me the money is coming. So lesson: anybody that's making a film, do not shoot a film without having that money in your bank account. Don't ever make a movie if you don't have all the money in the bank account. So they told me, they showed me the check and everything else, said it's coming. So I'm like, all right, it's got to be here by Friday. So we get Friday, I get I get no text. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because everybody got to get paid. And they assured me they was gonna have it the day before. We had a long talk. So I'm like, okay, we good. I take people word for it. Money didn't come. So thank God somebody was there to help bail me out. I couldn't pay my whole actors right away.
Oh
And a lot
wow.
of people, like I said, a lot of the comedians I've worked with, so I put and booked them on shows. So they know I'm good. I'm gonna take care of them. I took care of my whole production crew. I paid them, and and it took me a minute, took me a month or so to pay everybody, but I have paid it back. Thank God. Everybody's paid. Not one person. I have not one per. I don't owe money to anybody at all in my production. I have one person that we got something we working on and everything else, but besides that, everybody else is 100% paid because I want to have a reputation of somebody that takes care of my people. Now, to everybody that I took a while paying you, I apologize, but I got you your money. That's all that matters. You got your money, and everybody
Well,
that was on my production wants to continue to work with our next film, and that's what it's about.
so let's go back because there were some things that you did touch on that I really definitely wanted to make sure that we,
Sure.
touch on. Beside going back to the writing stage, let's talk about the writing stage. How long did it take you to write the entire movie?
You know what's funny? I started writing a movie in October of 2020. That's when I first sat down and started writing it. Okay, and I was finished with it um, in December. For about a month and a half because I have a crazy imagination. I could just come up with some stuff. And I'll be honest, it was, I had notes all over the place, but I finally put them all together and I finished in about 2 months. And I learned how to, I've never directed before. I did just small projects like, like short films and everything else, but I've never directed my own production. So this is my first time actually directing. And I learned how to do that from Facebook and Skillshare and just watching TV, turning the sound off, and just saying what I would do. But I did not watch any comedies because I didn't want my film to resemble anything like Barbershop or Friday or anything. So I wanted to be different, and this film is definitely different. So it took me about 2 months to write it, um, and I was up many late nights, because at the time kids were at home when I was writing it. So my son, my 9-year old, he was at home. And kids, if you ever have anybody got kids homeschool, your kid gonna ask you a question every 5 minutes while they sitting up there in front of the computer. And you have to help your kid cheat on some tests and just look over to the side when the teacher ain't looking to make sure they pass. You know what I mean? Hey, I keep it real on the candy show, y'all, okay? So then I got a 4-year-old who my 4-year-old girl who runs the house. Every 5 minutes she changing 2, 3 outfits, so I got to deal with that. And then she like, yeah, you put up a little gate for them not to go into certain rooms. So I put the little gate up. So she get a little chair, she climb over it, falling over and everything else. So I'm in the middle trying to do that. I'm on conference calls trying to get pre-production, find the actors, find the pre-production people, the camera people. So I'm dealing. And my wife works from home as well. She's an executive. So she over there. So it's got to be quiet. So, and my wife at times, I knew sometimes she went on conference calls, but she tend like she on because she didn't want to deal with all the mess that was going on in the house. And I'm like taking the kids to school. I'm a stay at home dad first. That's my first priority. So, like I said, my wife does some traveling, and she's a big executive for analytics company for hospitals. Helping hospitals, uh, showing them how to make money and what things to cut and stuff like that. She the slice and dice person. She go in places and say, fire this person and this person, you doing good. So, like that. So it's very stressful, especially during COVID and all that. And she deal with Cleveland clinics and big time multi-million dollar hospital. My wife is very smart. So another tip: when you get married, marry young and marry somebody smarter than you. That's important tip.
That's a good advice.
So we writing, I'm writing all this stuff. I'm up late nights and doing interviews. I'm like, everything is Zoom, right? So I'm doing interviews, and my daughter coming over here changing clothes, naked, and got her shirt, she can't get it up, and people all in the background looking and laughing. And I'm trying to interview somebody real serious, and I got her back there, so I'm like grabbing her like that. You see, I'm just knocking stuff. That was my daughter. I just knocked out the way. So I'm knocking stuff out. No, that was my daughter who just was like right
Oh,
here.
really? Oh.
Like really, I had to move her out the way. Yeah. So I didn't get good at that. Yeah. I didn't get good at it. So if you see me turn around and do like this, you know what I'm doing. But I keep it real. I keep it real. I pinch my kid in a minute if they get out of line. They know I'm up here doing the show. So it was a lot. And then when it was time to do the production, the first day, everybody, we all got together. We all, I just wanted to show everybody the layout. Funny story: Denzel Washington, the first time he ever directed a film, his first film he directed was the one with Derek Luke when he was the I forgot the name of it, when the guy was looking for his mama. And anyway, anybody that know the Denzel Washington movie, but I forgot the name of it, but he threw up and he did not want out of his trailer because he was scared. Now this is Denzel, who's done movies, got awards and everything else, and his first time directing, talks about it. He did not want. I didn't feel like that, but I was like, "Whoa, what I get myself into?" I didn't put. I mean, I've put like 80% of the money up. I've raised all the funds myself. And like I said, I have just a few investors, but I've raised the money. And I'm like, wow, I got all this money I done put into this, and I got all this. We got some big budget. I have 75 people total in my production, and I had like 12 to 13 people every day that we was doing. And keep in mind, we doing this during COVID, so all I'm worrying about is, man, if somebody gets sick or somebody get COVID, we got to shut this down. Now it was just a lot, and thank God, for the grace of God, everything went well. We got it. Like I said, we shot the first phase, and then it took 2 months for me to raise the money again to do the second phase. We had 10 more days to do it, so I finally got the money to do that, and we got that, and everybody got paid, except for one person. My camera got, man, he didn't get paid right away, but finally paid him off. Just sent him a check this week, so he's done. So everybody's taken care of, but the beauty of it is everybody got paid, everybody was patient, and everybody understood, because I never shied away. I wasn't fake, I wasn't phony. I kept and let people know. And like I said, that's what I try to do. I just try to be real and be honest. And man, it was a lot. It was a lot to get it done, but in 2 weeks it will be done. Like I said, I'm editing, but I put it in professional hands to finish the editing job. So I just had a conversation with him yesterday. Shout out to Blake Magic, who's doing my editing. And man, I had to get rid of my DP, which is the cinematographer, the first phase. So we had to have a new DP. My AC guy, who basically the first time, uh, shout out to Devin Snookin, um, Vinny, who we call Vinny. He had to do a Guns N' Roses tour, so I ain't gonna get mad at him for that. So he had to go do that. So I had to find a new lighting guy, and thank God Ron from Cinema Styles um, popped up, and he did an amazing job. And then I had to, we, how it is when you do something the first time, we learn from our mistakes from the first production of what to do and what not to do. And I think the second time and the second phase, we just like, just we added Rodney Perry, we added Dirty South. Shout out to my girl Dirty South. If anybody don't know who Dirty South is, comedian, hilarious, and we're actually going to be doing a documentary on her, the real deal documentary on Dirty South. Um, I already have videos and interviews, and I know I'm mixing it all in, and I'm talking about stuff, but that's just how I am, baby. But
That's all right, because I'm getting ready to
Ricky
stop you in a
Smiley,
second.
yeah, yeah, you got to cut me off, man. Cut me off. Ricky Smiley is committed to is going to be on the documentary talking about how he met Dirty South. My girl Coco Brown is going to be on there. Shotty is doing it. So we have a lot of great Michael Collier. So we have a lot of people that's like Doodoo Brown. Shout out to Doodoo Brown. So and like I said, that's another time for another story. But Dirty
Yes.
South, that's going to be a documentary. So.
So let's talk about the cast. How did
I
you
know you
come
say, let me
about?
talk about, let me go back. You got to bring me in, girl.
But you know
It's
what?
all good.
I try not to be rude and over talk my guests as well
Nah,
because
be real,
they're
girl, because I'll talk all day. You got to come in. I'm a Taurus. I'm a Taurus. We dominant, independent, and we get shit done. And
okay.
we're gonna talk about it. So you got to cut me off.
Oh, you know what? All right, let's go back to how did you pick the cast?
You know what? Picking the cast, like I said, a lot of the comedians I've been on tour with, I've worked with, and we did shows. So I wrote according to their personalities, like Squirt, Shawty, Dirty South, Rodney Perry, Weight Ball, Dante Ray, Food Stamp. Well, his real name is not Food Stamp. His real name is Freddie Davis, and Dennis Clark. I've worked with majority, like except for Dennis, Tim Murray. I worked with all of them, so I knew they, how they rocked and everything else. And I was had an actor who was the name before Shawty came. Um, my lead actor was going to be a guy named I forgot his name. Mikhail Kesey was going to be it, and he was doing a project with Tyler Perry at the time. He was doing I forgot what project, and I ain't gonna say Tyler Perry knew that he was doing a project, but for some reason he got a bigger role, and he started getting more projects, so he couldn't do it. So I really wanted to not make it about a big name star, and I wanted to make it about someone that people knew, but not someone that was like making it about that person, but making it about the film, because I wanted everybody to grow together. That's one thing I want to do with my project. So I did some research, and two people came to mind was Little Duval, and I know Little Duval personally. We've done a lot of shows together, and he wasn't available. And then Shawty, that was my next one. And then I called Shawty. We talked about 2 hours, and Shawty was something else back in the day. He was a mess. He was something else back in the day, and I was like, man, do I really want this dude to do this? And because every word when I last time him and I didn't see him like for like 10 years, and every word with him was a curse word. The first time me and Shawty met was at a club. I did a show, and I was funny. He came up to me and said, "Hey, yeah, so you Mark?" I used to go by Marquise Head, and he wanted me to go on the road with him because he had no license. Like a lot of the other comedians, they didn't have no license. So I was the guy that was driving all the comedians around because I had a license. I wasn't as funny as them, but I had a license. So that's how I went on the road. It's the truth. I went on the road. For my first gig, I went on the road because uh, the comedian didn't have a license and he needed somebody to go on the road with him. So yeah, so him and I talked, and he was very scared and nervous when we first started, and I was like, man, did I make the right decision? But we hung in there, and because like I said, he's a genius, brilliant comedian, entertainer, but he's done some movies and stuff, but he was imagine you just now you the lead dog, so you don't want to mess up, and you want to be, you're the face of it. So he was under pressure, and my AD Shaky Webster and it's like every other day we was doing Zoom calls. Everything was Zoom. I did every interview on Zoom for production and for cast is on Zoom. Um, there is two people, but on production side, Shaky Webster, who I've known for like 35 years, was the only person that I knew. Everyone else I hired from a can of paint. I've never known them, and we just clicked and had a great time. And people referred me to different people, and I did interview. And I pick people first, and then your skill set second. And if you do that, it's just gonna be a beautiful thing. And everybody pitched in. We all, when we finished, we all put everything, put it on the truck and everything else together. And we had a great time. And like I said, you can feel the love and the energy. And I wish Mahogany, I know Mahogany Raz was supposed to be on here, who played Grandma Dirty. Shout out to Mahogany Raspberry. But she was running a little late because she's doing a television show from a major network. So I ain't mad at her on that.
Okay,
You know,
now
you excuse Mahogany. When you watch this video, you are excused. And
maybe we can get them
just
next
we
time.
had a great time. Yeah. And the biggest thing that I really love about what I'm doing is forget the movie, forget people laughing, forget we're gonna make money and we getting our names out there. The biggest thing that I get from what I'm doing in my production, and we've done a couple of things now, is the relationships that people form and they never knew each other. Like we have two girls that was on our production, they're roommates now. Uh,
Mhm.
I would say 90% of everybody on my production team has worked together in some type of capacity from just, you know, majority of everyone that worked on our production and cast have never been in that position. They've always been like a step down. So I elevated everybody. So if you was like a camera assistant, I elevated you up. If you was a person that was the second camera guy, I elevated that person to the first camera guy, and and so on and so on. And like I said, we made a great thing, and they took that confidence, and now they're like light years ahead now because they have the confidence. And since they was elevated, they had larger roles. Everyone was like a department head because, like I said,
Mhm.
it was 12 to 13 people, so it wasn't a skeleton small crew, but it was a big enough crew. But everybody knew their role. It was like I used to I came from a background of hospitality. I used to be a general manager at Steak and Shake, and I used to be a manager at TGI Fridays. So at the Camp Creek and the Atlanta airport. So organizing chaos and dealing with budgets, and then like I said, I used to be on comedy shows, and I've been in stadiums, comedy clubs, arenas. So I just seen all that stuff, and I just put it all like a big bowl of gumbo, and it's working, girl. It is working.
Oh, come on now. Okay, let's. This is
Yeah,
what we're gonna about. We're gonna get ready to show the trailer. So, want to do that?
let's
And then
do it, babe.
we're gonna come back and we're gonna have a few other questions. Okay.
All right.
Oh snap! I'm late for work! Now you know when you go to rolling that weed up like back in the day, your hands go to cramping, Grandma.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Praise the Lord. Now who the hell is this?
What up, big boy? You don't look too good. Come eat with us. We actually clean our meat.
Call on them. I say even when you're going to court. But if you're going to child support court, don't just call on God. Call on a good lawyer too. Hey man, you better call a good lawyer. Hey man, hallelujah. Man, where you been? It's 11:15. You should have been open. Smoke coming out that roof. I'm hungry.
Man, if you don't shut your Popeye eating pickle and the peppermint sucking lemon pepper blow pop lip.
That's it. Tyler, you're fired.
What my name is? Your best barber in the ATL is back.
Cause he ain't fit for employment nowhere elsewhere, child.
Tyler, what you doing with a bozo suit on?
20 years Tyler.
Oh, you heard about my fresh cut saying you wanted to get one?
We ain't here for no haircut. So don't be a wise guy. Don't be a wise guy. Don't be a wise guy. Don't be a wise guy.
Tyler!
So I'm
How many
all
times
with
do
you.
people get you? How many times do people? I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt. But how many times people get you confused with Candy Burrs? Because you kind of resemble each other, and then you got the Candy thing. Don't tell me it's the
Really?
first time.
Yes, that
Yeah,
is.
you look like Candy.
Really?
Really?
Oh
Yeah, you
wow.
look like Candy.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
so
you
much.
look
I
like Candy
appreciate
Burrs.
that. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
yeah.
Wow. You're a very giving person. I appreciate the fact that you were taking some of the actors and actresses and taking them from a shorter level or a lower level or just a starting out level, and you're providing those opportunity, you're providing them the opportunity. I appreciate that because we have to all start from somewhere, and you have to extend that hand, as I always say to people, to just, you know what, because at the end of the day, we're not born with spoons in our mouths, and you always have to reach out and help someone. So I appreciate that. And I'm going to ask you another question.
Sure. Oh, before you do that, I have
Mhm.
to also give a shout out to Damon Williams, who's one of the main stars in the film. Shout out to Damon Williams, and also Brandon. Oh, I forgot his name. Oh, I forgot his name. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. But I want to give a shout out to Damon Williams, who's in the film as well. And my brother was in the film. If you first seen when he walked in and say what my name is, that's my brother sitting in a chair. So my brother
Oh,
Mario,
okay.
who's also a producer of the show. Yeah. So we try to make it a family affair. My kids, I have a 22-year-old, 9-year-old, and a 4-year-old, and they've already had me sign a contract that I had them every movie together now. So, you know, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
that's they,
go ahead.
M Head Films,
Yeah,
yes, M
M
Head
Head
Films,
Film Productions. Now, is that
yes.
your first production with the
It's
with Can't Get Right?
Yes, this is the first. This is the first. Like I said, I've done multiple things and I've been on sets and things like that. But this is the first thing that's actually gonna be visible. That is like under my name. If you go to my IMDb page, or you can just Google my name, Marcus Head, I'll pop up, and you can see all the things, everything else I'm working on. But yeah, this is my first one. It's my baby, and it was something. We have a lot of comedians on there, and uh, it was. I ain't gonna say it was rough because we had a great time, but they were a lot of them were uncomfortable because they used to being on stage and going from stage to actually being in the film, and they had lines to read and things like that. Now I gave them some autonomy to be themselves, but I wanted them to stay on script because I didn't stay up late night for nothing. You know what I mean? Writing that. So they really did a. I mean, like I said, we did a lot of rehearsal and it took some time, but we got it done, and we went through some takes, but we got it done, and I'm really happy because I really believe, and you can see the elevation of, because when you see the movie, you're gonna be like, oh, that's that dude right there. He's on Sisters. Jesse Lewis is on the show Tyler Perry's Sisters, and also gotta give a shout out to Jason Williams, not Williams, yeah, Jason, he's on the Tyler Perry production as well. He's playing one of the mobsters in the movie as well. So definitely gotta give a shout out. Jason Thomas. I'm sorry, this is his name. Jason Thomas. I'm trying to think of everybody to give my shout outs to everybody, so I won't leave anybody out. SJ, who's in charge of lighting. Who else? I mentioned Kenny, Shaky, Ron, who was my first um, DP, give a shout out. Things didn't work out, but still, he did a great job at the beginning. Get a good shout out to Kai, who's the sound, and also got to give a shout out to Desi, who was the sound person in the first production. Like I said, we changed a lot of people, but even though they didn't finish the second one, they were still part of the production. So definitely want to give them that shout out.
What's one thing that you want to take from this experience that you learned from to go forth with your new projects?
The one thing I would learn, that's a good question. I would say just enjoy the moment and just remember the things that made the production that will make the next production better. Things that I've learned from the next production. I always treated people right and treat people good, so I'm not going to say that, but still, always treat people right, respect. But I always look for feedback from people. Like I said, it was my first production. I was the director. I casted it, wrote it, picked all the locations, and yeah, I did all that, girl, because less people I had to pay. So I did all that, and it was a great experience. So now I just want to take that. I'm not doing that no more. Things are going well now, so I ain't gonna have to do all that. I can put people in position to do that, but just I want to elevate. That's all I want to do. So wherever we do next, and we have a lot of things coming up, just making sure we evolving, and people just have a great time, and they say something positive about who I am as a person, director and producer, and just about the cast and the production and the experience. That's all I care about. Is I don't care what people say,
Mhm.
but I care about how people view what we're doing and how we did it for the people that was there present to see it. Because a lot of hard work goes behind making a movie, especially like I said, this is not a Bad Boys uh, blockbuster, you know, thing, but to me, it's a blockbuster because I put my money behind it. I put a lot of money behind it, and we did a great job, and it's a lot of moving parts. From the person that went and got the food all the time to, because that's important. You gotta have your snacks, you gotta have your food. To, like I said, just that one person that let me use their facility for a scene, or let me use choir robes for the picture. So it's just a lot of things. And shout out to my mom. My mom did all the costumes. Avery Head. Shout out to my mom. She did all the costumes. She makes all of our shirts. She makes all of our. She didn't make this shirt. Somebody else, one of our investors, made this. So shout out to um, Keena Poole, who made this shirt embroidered. And but my mom did she made cups, masks, she made all the shirts. You see this poster embroidery? She did that for me. So like I said, we all gonna do this together. So we all gonna hit that lottery, and when that lottery come out for everybody, I'm gonna make sure I'm an ATM giving it out to people, showing the love. And I mean, I just want the same people to do the next 2, 3 projects together, and then after that, I want to be able to the point that I can't afford them, and everybody want them. 'Cause then I know I did my job. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you ask me, what do I want to get out of it? Is I just want everybody to have opportunity to ex- give the people the experience we had on set, and hopefully they'll take of what we did, and just keep putting that positivity out, because there's some horror stories and horror sets I can tell you about on some scenes. Shout out to the makeup artist. I forgot light skin. I always call her light skin. So shout out to light skin. Like I said, I'm not bad with names, but Olympia. Shout out to Olympia, and also shout out to Michelle Rainey, the two makeup artist people that did the makeup. And like I said, I'm gonna keep naming names, but I don't want to forget nobody. But
I
I just
mean,
got
I'm
love for
pretty sure you
everybody,
have a
man. I
whole
do.
bunch of people that you want to say thank you to, and at some point, it's like you're gonna be like, well, you know what? And don't get me wrong. I might forget you, but I don't forget
Nah,
you
I
either.
got you.
You know what I mean? So
Well, I'm getting ready for that award. When I'm accept my awards, and I
woo,
got it all done now. So I got the experience where now I know how off the top of my head. I like to give a shot when I got that award. I ain't talking about no BET award. I'll take one, but I'm talking when I'm up there for them Oscars and all that other stuff.
come on
Hey,
now.
I'll take anything I don't care what statue it is. I don't care if it's a Raspy Awards or a Boo Boo the Fool Award. I'll take it.
Exactly.
If it recognized what we did. You know what I mean?
Come on. Tell me about how did you come up with the title "Can't Get Right" and the unique way that it's spelled.
Well, Can't Get Right, and no, I did not get it from the movie Life, and Can't Get Right, the dude that played the retarded dude. No, they used to always say, my mom and dad used to always say, "Boy, you need to get right. Boy, you need to get right." They used to always say that. And my grandmother really used to always tell me I used to get right, and because a lot of the movie is about me, just how I grew up. I was fired from multiple jobs. My first job was at Burger King, and I used to eat while I was right there working. And you put anybody work at Burger King, you put the meat on the grill, and it's got to go through twice. And if I was behind, I let that thing go through once, or I go ahead and just grab the rack, get a towel, and speed that thing up and put it on there. So a lot of people meat was done. So I apologize, but hey, I was learning. I was only 16, 17 years old. But so I was doing a lot of stuff that just wasn't right that we could have put in the movie. And I just wanted to do something funny, and just like I say, put some of my experiences. Like I got fired from a lot of jobs, and and I didn't cut hair. So barbershop scene was not my experience, but it was an experience of someone I knew, and so it was a lot of just bits and pieces. And when I saw Can't Get Right, you know, come up, just typing and everything else, I saw that the RITE was not something that popped up. So I wanted to have something that was not going to pop up and, you know, because, when you see Can't Get Right, like if you go to Can't Get Right, you're going to see like people with middle fingers up and, think about it. If it's Can't Get Right, you're going to see some Can't Get Right people on there. So I didn't want to confuse that. So, so that's why I use the hashtag now. I used to do the hashtag Can't Get Right, but now I use the hashtag Can't Get Right Movie. And girl, why you ain't got no writing up there that pops up showing my credits and all that
Who, me?
stuff? Look, you need to
Hey,
get on your
bring
team,
on,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I need
bring
some
on
credits.
such.
Yeah, we need some credits up there. I need, so people can follow and everything else. Where's that at?
Whew.
That was just a coaching moment. But
Oh my
yes,
gosh,
I
you
want
just
to do.
called the candy show out. That's all right.
No, no, I just called the candy show out just something to think about. That's all.
Oh, you're
So I
right.
got
You're
love
right.
for you because
You're right.
without you, I wouldn't be on here right now. So I
I
got love for you. So I'm definitely not dogging you.
Listen, I
But like I
appreciate
say,
all the
I'm always
suggestions.
trying to share knowledge. I'm always trying to share knowledge. But yeah, that was the reason why I did that because I used to always say, boy, you need to get right, and I used to tell lies. Man, I used to lie all the time. Like I could have a rock in my hand with dirt on it, throw it at a car, and then my aunt would come up, and I remember she did. She said, boy, did you throw that rock? I was like, nope. And I got dirt all on my hand, and it's nobody else around but me. You know what I mean? I was that dude. I was that kid. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
so can't get right. And I just wanted to be funny, and I just wanted to put all the different experiences. So like I said, a lot of those experiences is my life experiences. So that's why I did that.
Okay, so tell everyone how they can reach you and again reiterate when the movie is expected to come out.
Okay, so the film will be ready, like I said, in a couple weeks, but that's not going to be for media filming yet. The way the process works is the film will actually be ready to where we can actually send it out. So we have a couple of places for distribution we're working on. I can't really say the names, but it's the normal people that's streaming, and we're trying to get it all over the place. But we do have some people we're in the process with, but you can't put nothing together until they actually have it. So we'll have it in 2 weeks. People already know about it. So I would say, I don't want to give a date, because I really can't. But to follow me, we have a website called can'tgetright.com, and that's with the RITE. You can follow me on, there's two on Instagram. You can go to Can't Get Right. Um, and you can also movie, Can't Get Right movie, and you can also go to Mhead Filmmaker with two M's, and you can find me there. And I'm on Facebook. Yeah, I'm old school. I'm a Facebook guy. I don't do a TikTok yet. I know people getting on me to do it, but definitely go to the website. And when you go to the website, go to the mailing list. And if you go to the mailing list, then once it does come out, and when we're going to do it, I'm gonna announce it on all my sites. But if you're on the email list, what I'll do for you is I'm gonna send you a T-shirt, and I'll send you either a coffee cup or a mask with the Can't Get Right poster paraphernalia on it, just for taking the time out to go to the website and to just follow us, basically. So
Well, that is a
definitely,
wonderful idea. Appreciate your supporters. I like that. I
yeah.
like
Thank you,
that.
thank you, thank
Awesome,
you,
awesome. And now I
thank
know you
you.
kind of said a little bit of it in the very beginning. What is in store for Marcus Head coming up? Tell me what's
What's
coming
in
up.
store? Well, one thing I really love about Can't Get Right is there's not one curse word in there. I think there's a damn and an ass. I think two words, but there's no MF or anything like that. So it's something everybody can see, the grandmama kids and everything else. We got kids in there and everything else. So of course we're gonna do a sequel. We Can't Get Right, but I also mentioned the documentary Dirty South. We're gonna do. We're also gonna do. You remember the show Living Color and
Yes,
Matt TV?
yes.
Okay, we have a project called Live and in Color, and you can see that on my IMDb page. If you go to IMDb and just look up Marcus Head or just look up Can't Get Right, but it's called Live and in Color, and it's going to be a improv comedy sketch, just like Living Color, with different characters. We got Shotty the Squatter from Shotty. Shotty's going to be in it. Rodney Perry is going to be the inappropriate human resources man. We have him on there. Dante Ray is going to be comedian Dante Ray. Shout out to him. He's in the movie. Marvin Hunter is in the movie as well. And they're going to be in there. And Dirty South, she's going to be the 911 operator. That's going to really tell you what it's like. Anybody that know Dirty South, imagine Dirty South calling, you calling 911 and she telling you don't call here, wasting her time, basically. And then we also have two other projects we're going to be coming out. Hopefully in June, we're going to shoot one of the projects, but one is called Pastor's Revenge, and basically it's like when I say it's like, I'm not telling you that is the movie, but I'm giving you a similar. But if you remember Equalizer, basically it's gonna be about a pastor who um, just gets revenge, and nobody knows he's the pastor because everybody is coming to church testimony and telling a story about a bad experience. So he handles that business for them, cleaning up the streets. And then we have an animated series we're doing. I don't want to give that away just yet because we're still in script development. But Sherry Johnson, who played Punky Brewster, is verbally has agreed to come aboard, and we have a couple other people that's going to be on there. But it's going to be an animated film for kids and for adults, and it's hilarious and it's different. It's gonna be an animal that no one has ever seen before. That's gonna be like the lead. It's called Garanimal is the name of it. So just imagine an animal that's got like 8 different characters of build that's gonna be on there. And it's I tell you, my imagination just out there. I think about stuff. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning while I'm dreaming and I'm thinking of something. So
Oh,
that's what I do.
wow. Wow. That's
Yeah. So
crazy. So when you say Garanimal, the first thing I'm thinking of the underwear. Weren't there
the
some
what?
underwears? Weren't Garanimal? The first thing I'm thinking about that name is the
Yeah,
underwear.
you're right. That was. Yep, that was an animal. But that's the name of the character,
Oh wow.
Garanimal. And yeah, so like I said, we do more than just comedy. We want to show our range, and then we have a down the line that's in development script. I don't try to get too far ahead of myself,
Mhm.
but we have another down the line. Just imagine Fast and the Furious in outer space with spaceships.
Oh
So
wow.
it's gonna be a sci-fi. Yeah, it's gonna be a sci-fi that we're doing, and that's gonna be the big budget. So by the time I finish doing all this stuff, we're gonna really put together that to really do it well. So, and hopefully all the production people and the actors, we incorporate them in some type of way, and just keep building on the model.
And how can people audition? Do you have a selective process? Do they have to go to your website to get that information?
No, basically for now,
Mhm.
because I'm still reachable and I'm still accessible. That's not gonna always be the deal. I mean, do you really think people can call Tyler Perry and just pick up the phone and call him? No. But right now, you need to call and you need to get, and I do respond right now. So basically, you can go to my website and go to the website, which is www.can'tgetright.com with the RITE, or you can go to my IMD page, DB page, and when you go on there, you'll see my email for my business, and you'll also see a number where you can text me and just tell me who you are, send me a reel, a bio, and a headshot, and just tell me who you are, what you're doing, and like I said, we're actually about to start pre-production on a project coming up, and for the live and in color, and for the other thing I was mentioning, and then we do the documentary for Dirty South. We are going to invite people to, because we're going to do a live taping of her stand up. So anybody that want to go to the website, let us know. Like I say, when you go to the website or you go in Instagram under Mhead Filmmaker, for where we are right now, you have a chance to really get into a lot of things that we're doing. Because, like I said, I'm all about promoting people and getting people on. So, if anybody that's listening wants to be an actor, actress, production, sing, because you can always put music in the movies and the things we're doing, go to the website or go to the site and just tell me who you are. Because actually, a lot of the people that are in the movie did that. They just went to the email and said, "Hey, my name is such and such, and I want to be an actor, or whatever." I took the time out, called them back, we talked, and like I said, I pick people first. I don't give a damn if you've been working with LL Cool J or Tyler Perry. If your attitude sucks, I don't want you. If you that just person that don't nobody want to work with, bad energy and everything else, and I don't care how good you are. If I don't like you, I'm not gonna work with you. Who want to work with somebody all day you don't like? So, and I'm not talking about I don't like you as a person, but if I just don't like your spirit, your energy, I don't want to deal with you. Like you and I are gonna be doing some stuff. I can tell you that right now. I'm putting it. Mark your words right now. I'm gonna be back on the Candy Show because she said I'm coming back. So we're gonna come back, and this show right here is gonna really blossom and even take magnitudes. And I'm gonna do everything I can to help her because she's on this helping me.
Ooh. Mm.
Oh wow, girl, don't do that.
Oh
I ain't gonna cry,
goodness.
but
Uh,
hey, that's like you gonna don't make me cry now. I cry on set. I used to act too, so I used to be an actor. So
well,
I
that's
cry just
the
like Tyler Perry can cry right now.
oh, that's my spirit, and it's also an audition too. I just want to let you know, cause say I can cry on on demand. So
Hey, you know what? Like we was talking earlier, God works in mysterious ways, and God lines people up. And I'm gonna say
amen.
this seriously, because I'm gonna stop joking around because I see you are being emotional about it, so I'm gonna stop playing. But God lines people up to have a reason and a purpose. And I believe that he brought us, and like I guess I'm not the most spiritual person, but I'm a biblical person, and I believe in treating people right. And you did nothing but show love ever since I met you, and we just met, and just making sure the show is on tight, on time. We have the pictures, the trailer, and everything else, and you have really, like, people like you go far in this business because you're genuine, and you're doing your thing, and you have a story to tell. I'm not going to go into your story that we talked about, but God is blessing people that bless people and that's doing right. And the Candy Show is going to be beautiful. I didn't make you cry, I really didn't, but that just
That's
shows the
okay.
type of person you are. You Jimbo, you humble, and I appreciate that. And God is he's I ain't gonna say he's gonna bless you. He's blessing you, because you're on your own show, and I have my own thing, and we're working together.
Yes.
So that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
I thank you so much for all of those good, kind words. I appreciate that. I'm gonna end like this because I don't want to keep it all on me, and I don't want
Have you ever cried on your show before?
oh, several times, just because you know what, whenever the spirit moves me,
Got your
because
makeup all running, girl. You was looking all cute and everything else. Now you got your makeup
you're
all
funny,
that. But that's all good.
you're
Oh,
funny.
that's real though. That's real love. That's real love. And I love you, my sister. I appreciate you. I
I
do. I
appreciate
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Guys, I appreciate you. Mr. Marcus Head. I can't wait for the next time you come back on. Filmmaker, director,
Hey, I can't wait.
producer, CEO of M Head Productions. And guys, make sure you follow him. Stay tuned because his movie Can't Get Right will be out soon. And if there's anything else that you want to say, let them know that. But if not, either way it goes, we're going to end this show again. We're going to pull up this trailer and let's see what we can do with that. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Candy Show. You already know who I am. I'm Candy. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and hit the notification button on the Candy Productions 2, capital C, and the number 2 YouTube page. Don't forget, we have Instagram too, Candy Talk Show. All right, guys, thank you so much. And we're about to take you out again with Can't Get Right, the trailer. Awesome, awesome. All right.
Oh, snap! I'm late for work! Now, you know when you go to rolling that weed up like back in the day, your hands go to cramping, Grandma.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Praise the Lord. Now who the hell is this?
What up, big boy? You don't look too good. Come eat with us. We actually clean our meat.
Call on them. I say even when you're going to court. But if you're going to child support court, don't just call on God. Call on a good lawyer too. Hey man, you better call a good lawyer. Hey man, hallelujah.
Man, where you been? It's 11:15. You should have been open. Smoke coming out that roof. I'm hungry.
Man, if you don't shut your Popeye eating pickle and the peppermint sucking lemon pepper blow pop lip.
That's it. Tyler, you're fired.
What my name is? Your best barber in the ATL is back.
Cause he ain't fit for employment nowhere elsewhere, child.
Tyler, what you doing with a bozo suit on?
20 years Tyler.
Oh, you heard about my fresh cut saying you wanted to get one?
We ain't here for no haircut. So don't be a wise guy. Don't be a wise guy. Don't be a wise guy. Don't be a wise guy.
Tyler!
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Mr. Marcus Head, for your time today. And I hope to see you soon. And I can't wait for the movie to come out. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.